You look strong. Come to 𝕬𝖗𝖑 and be a companion.
How do you feel? I think you might be sick.
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you. Ha! Another milk drinker crying about their effort. Glory only awaits those who triumph. And as companions, our glory must always be hard fought. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to 𝕬𝖗𝖊𝖓𝖆𝖑 up in your valley. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
Thinking I need to train some more. Too confusing for me. Empire, Nords, Talos, who cares? Just tell me who needs bludgeoning.
A lot on the wind today. Good hunt ahead of us. 𝕬𝖗𝖊𝖓𝖓𝖑 says not to worry about it. I worry that a bunch of snowberries are out there earning glory while we stay out of it. But I will follow the old man's lead, as ever.
Come up to 𝕬𝖗𝖊𝖓𝖑, if you're worth anything in a fight.
By easy, it's true. A jester, funny suit and all. Just north, by the 𝕬𝖗𝖊𝖓𝖆𝖑 farm. Fool had a coffin in a cart with...
Well,
Think you can
sounds
go
like
blade to
you've had
blade
quite
with
the
me?
journey.
You'd be dead in 6
You were
seconds.
gone longer than usual. I got to thinking maybe you weren't coming back.
You've been talking to those companions? Too hot-headed, they cried. Weak, pathetic cowards, the lot of them. It wasn't my fault. I told them over and over that it was an accident. They wanted me to prove my worth. So they threw me up against a young whelp of a lad, hardly old enough to grow his first chin hairs. I guess they thought a woman wasn't strong enough to hurt him. I didn't mean for him to die. Why would I want that? I just lost control. The heat of the battle is the fire that forges the strongest blades. It's an old Nord proverb. That, and a true Nord never misses a chance to test her worth. And why not? I could beat anyone in this city, barehanded. 100 gold says I knock your hide to the ground. Why don't you come back when you actually have 100 gold?
Thought did cross my mind, yeah. War brewing, talk of a riot in Helgen. That now jesters? Skyrim's gone mad, girl. You need to be careful out there.
Remember that.
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Riverwood's in danger too. We better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach, at the top of the hill.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask 𝕬𝖗𝖓𝖓𝖓𝖓 for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to 𝕬𝖓𝖓𝖓𝖓's Stormcloak. Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle. Have you met my father? He's the steward up at Dragon's Reach. Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill. But you're probably more interested in your 𝕬𝖃𝖑, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary. Stay sharp.
My lord, please. You have to listen.
What would you have me do then? Nothing?
What's
My
the
lord,
meaning of this
please.
interruption?
This is no
Jarl
time for
𝕬𝖃𝖓
rash
is not
action.
receiving
I
visitors.
just think we need more information before we act.
Who's this then?
As House Carl, my job is to deal with all dangers that threaten the Jarl or his people. So you have my attention. Now explain yourself. You know about 𝕬𝖃𝖓? The Jarl will want to speak to you personally. Approach.
So, you were at 𝕬𝖃𝖓. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? Really? You're certainly forthright about your criminal past. But it's none of my concern who the Imperials want to execute, especially now. What I want to know is, what exactly happened at 𝕬𝖃𝖓? I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
Troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains.
The Jarl of 𝕊𝖃𝖓 will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service. I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find 𝕊𝖃𝖓, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. 𝕬𝖃, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from? I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖓𝖆𝖑, a dragon stone said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖓𝖆, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb built by the ancient 𝕬𝖗ds, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, we must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you have the coin. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the 𝕬𝖗ds rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the 𝕬𝖗ds overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of 𝕬𝖃𝖓𝖓's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach. I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense. Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task. A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid I'm not much good at teaching. You should try your luck at the College of Winterhold. If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? Probably not. As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day.
This is a priority now. Anything we can use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl 𝕬𝖃𝖓𝖓. You seem to have found me an ableist. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
Oh, I thought you were already on your way to 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖓𝖑. What are you still doing here? The Jarl said retrieving that stone tab... I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this. To 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖓𝖑 with you. The Jarl is not a patient man. Neither am I, come to think of it.
Say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
Because it's always true.
Can we at least go to the tavern for supper?
And to think I was going to feed you cabbages and apples again. Yes, little fairy, we can go to the tavern for supper.
Hey!
Life's hard enough with all these men propositioning me. But that bard is the worst. That bard 𝕬𝖃 is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the Bannered Mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast. Huh! If you want to try, go right ahead. I don't think anything will get through that thick skull of his, though. You've got no idea. Half the men in Whiterun have proposed to me. Some were even single. They'll never understand. No amount of flowers or honeyed words are going to change my mind. Right now, all that matters is my daughter Mila. No man's going to get between me and my little girl. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Remember, fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
I work with my mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
Are you feeling all right, dear? You look a little ill. Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the Bannered Mare from Hulda.
Before my 𝕬𝖗𝖃 passed, I told him that one day, I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, 𝕬𝖗𝖃. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future? About the same as everyone else. They're the catfolk of Elsewhere. Great warriors, good traders. The way I hear it, Elsewhere ain't nothing like Skyrim. It's got tropical forests and dusty badlands. It sounds awful. Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them. Matter of fact, I do. They've been fair enough with me, far as I can tell. And 𝕬𝖃 knows a liar when she sees one. Farewell.
Skyrim. I'm just out and about. The 𝕬𝖃 can do without me for a bit, I suspect. Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter. Magic is for the weak. Elves, I mean. They keep to that college in Winterhold. They know their place. Of course, there is 𝕬𝖃. He might be the Jarl's wizard, but at least he's a Nord. I assume you saw the Gildergreen? Big tree, all burnt up, in the middle of the Wind District? It's part of the Temple of Kynareth. People want Danica to do something about it, but I don't know what they expect.
Come to chat with an old woman, hmm? Do your good deed for the day.
I don't get much time off from the tavern, but I enjoy it when I do.
Do you feel all right? See you.
In Skyrim. Bits and baubles for sale, all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim. I can tell you're new around here asking a question like that. My husband Eorlund tends the Skyforge up at 𝕬𝖃. The Companion's Mead Hall. Oh, there's no finer smith in the Nine Halls. You should ask him about his work. It's the only subject that'll get him talking. Well, that and maybe those stuck-up, dung-sniffing battle-borns. Head up the steps from the market and look to your right. Can't miss it. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Take care of yourself now.
The 𝕬𝖃 can do without me for a bit, I suspect.
Blade and shadow, silence and death. These are my arts. For a modest fee, I'll make great art for you. I am an artisan, painting in strokes of blood red upon the canvas of life. But yes, I will take coin to fight at your side. After all, where is the value in creating art if there is nobody left alive to see it? Walk always in shadows, so that you will see your foe.
Brigands I can handle, but this talk of dragons? World's gone mad, I say. Yes, Houseman. We'll leave immediately.
I can't afford to send anyone else, and we don't know where the dragon is. It seems our enemies have no end of spies, saboteurs, and assassins to send against us. Balgruuf and I share a battle bond. We met as youths and forged our friendship in the fires of war. When he became Jarl, I insisted on serving as his protector. He had no cause to argue. Gods, you are curious. Almost dangerously so. I am charged with protecting the Jarl from any and all threats. Powerful men have many enemies, more so in times of strife, so you can imagine the dangers. Oh yes, there have been attempts on the Jarl's life. More than one would-be assassin has met his end at the tip of my blade. Take your pick. Dragons, Stormcloak assassins, ambitious and unscrupulous nobles. Sometimes I think his own children want him dead. And those are just the physical threats. Assaults on his sanity are another matter entirely. Every day he deals with obsequious functionaries and incompetent bureaucrats. Sadly, I'm not allowed to eliminate them. Well, not yet anyway. I don't expect the three of you to fight off a dragon by yourselves, but I do expect you to do your duty.
Of course. We'll keep Riverwood safe. You can count on it.
And what might you need, hmm? Mind yourself.
What is it? Dragons? I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom? You don't really know a woman till you had a strong drink and a fist fight with her. And why not? I could beat anyone in this city, barehanded. 100 gold says I knock your hide to the ground. Just fists. No weapons, no magic, no crime. Let's go. Come on, let's see what you're made of. Damn you. You call yourself a lord? Not so tough, are you? Last mistake.
Order of the Ark. Stop right there.
Smart man. Now, come along with us. We'll take any stolen goods, and you'll be free to go. After you pay the fine, of course.
You look worse than I feel.
Judging by your armor, I'd say you're an Imperial scout. If so, well met.
Something?
Wait, so a costume? You're not serious.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.